So the one question I ask a lot of wrestlers is, if you could sum your career up in one word, how would you describe it so far?
Hectic. Very hectic. I mean, ever since the very beginning of my career, it's been a whirlwind, like ups and downs. So very much schedule, one day you're on one side of the country, the other day you're on the other side or in a different country. So it's very hectic.
I've got to ask as well, how the hell do you juggle wrestling with your job?
Um, once again, hectically. It's very much like thankfully now I work somewhere that I can do 4 10s and then I can wrestle Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there is that. Before I worked Monday through Friday, and then I went to training every day after, and then I would just go wrestle if I could make it somewhere. I was close enough to where I was living in Ohio at that time. If I could make it somewhere close enough after I got off work, then I would wrestle Friday. But then I would mainly wrestle Saturday and Sunday, or I'd wrestle, and that's when I was working for OVW, and that was every Thursday too. So it was pretty much just get off work and go, change out of your scrubs and go.
Do you ever get time to yourself? And do you know at all?
Do what?
Do you ever get time to yourself?
This weekend I did because I took some time off. I was actually supposed to be on a show last night, but situations and scheduling with another person actually helped me being like, you know what? I'll take the night off. Give them that. So very rarely, but yeah, and I'm almost in 11 years of wrestling, and I can probably count on one hand actually the amount of times I had a full weekend off or just where I wasn't traveling or doing something. So yeah.
I hope you don't suffer from burnout.
I'm trying not to. It's happened quite a bit. I'm not going to lie, but then you go out there and then that adrenaline's there and you're like, yeah, this is great. This is why I do it. But then I'm not going to lie, because the whole time you're driving there, you're like, I'm done. So.
Dear Shawna, how's the week been for yourself? All right.
It's been okay. Like I said, working and yeah, like I said, I had this full weekend to do nothing, so that was nice.
And when are you back to work tomorrow?
Yes. Yep. So fun.
There you go. So yeah, obviously we're talking about your career in wrestling and stuff like that. Let's start at the beginning, Shawna. How does it all begin?
It began, like I said, about 11 years ago. I'm almost on my 11-year anniversary on September 14th. I was just a big wrestling fan as a kid. Real big fan. I actually got into it by the video games. My brother actually we would fight over who would play the PS2 back in the day, and my mom would designate us times to actually play the game. And when it was his time, he wanted to play wrestling. So he would quiz me on the guys that came up in between matches while you waited. And I didn't even know this was a real thing. So I actually started knowing the guys just from playing video games. Then I found out it was a real show. And I'm like, oh, these people are real. And I kind of started watching. My family was very much, my mom and dad did not like wrestling. So I could never go to a live event. They didn't care if I watched it, but I was never allowed to go to a live event. So then years I got older, I stopped being a fan for a little bit. I turned on the TV randomly one day and just was like, I wonder what's going on in that world, and fell in love with it and immediately contacted. I was obsessed at that time with Dean Ambrose. And he was from Cincinnati and I lived in Cincinnati. So I looked up who trained him and I literally contacted them, and then the rest is history.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that's Cody Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like learning from him?
It was actually really cool. I was the only girl in his class forever. So it was very intimidating just being in a class full of men. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do it too. And I said, coming from the kind of family I was in, that was very much you're not going to go watch these things live. I didn't know what moves were called. I didn't know anything. So when I go in there, they're like, oh, do this move. And I'm like,
what?
Do what? Like, like I didn't know what they were called. So I'm like, I'm going to be like, this is going to be terrible for me. Like, this is going to be horrible. Eventually it did all come. So that was good. But, I was trained very old school, and I am very technical, and I'm very happy about that. Like, I am not a flippy wrestler like you see nowadays. Like, everybody can flip and do all that stuff. I am not that. I'm one of the few, I feel like, dying breed of people that actually were trained how to old school and technically wrestle. So like, I care more about like stories and like character and being able to do that in the ring than flip. That's how I was trained. And so I'm actually really happy that I was trained that way. Like I said, it was super intimidating, but like, it was actually really rewarding, because also like, I was all of a sudden now seen like a bro. Like, like these guys, they did not go easy. They did not hold off. Like friggin' anything they hit me with was full force. Like, I was a man. And I'm so happy that I was trained that way, because nowadays, like, a lot of people aren't, or like, I could go in there and hold my own with pretty much anyone. So yeah.
I was going to ask, is obviously because you were only the female there, did they treat you differently? But I think you just kind of answered that question for me.
Yep. No, it was all, I was very much treated like a man. It didn't matter. And it was great. I loved it.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about obviously the promotions you've obviously showed up in. WWE, how did this come about?
I actually wrestled for a company in Chicago, like when I first started wrestling, and they, like, the promoter loved me, and he actually gave my information over to like a guy he knew at WWE. And like within like 3 weeks later, I had an email from WWE asking me to come and do extras work. And ever since then, extras work has been pretty consistent for me. Excuse me. But I've genuinely been doing, I've probably done extras work over 100 times, like by now. So that's kind of how that started. And it's been really, really cool.
Absolutely. And obviously you were at TNA as well with Marsha Slamovich. I hate using the term like squash match, but what was that experience like?
It was really cool. I mean, yeah, it was a squash, and I went into it knowing, like, I didn't know I wasn't going to get absolutely anything, but I knew I was going in there for a squash. It was like, which is completely fine. I was enhancement talent. They were making Masha. She's a badass, anyways. So making her look like this like killer, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm down for it. I will do whatever you need. To me, it was generally just really cool, because it was actually in one of my it was like right across the river from my hometown, and like it was a surprise. So many people didn't know I was going to be there, and I actually got like an entrance. Like, they actually put my name on a freaking big thing, everything. And when I came out, when I tell you, the crowd actually went like insane. It was nuts. And I'm just in the ring, like waiting for Masha to come out, because they said, like, get in the ring, just go to the side, let Masha do her entrance. Like, don't try and like, and I'm like, cool, that's what I'm here for. But I'm in the ring waiting for Masha, and this crowd is just chanting my name, like literally like I'm this like I was this huge like person that just came back, like, so that was really, really cool. And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's whatever. To me, it was a really fun time.
Now, the last one obviously was actually two more I want to talk about is AEW. That's another one. Talk about that.
Yeah, I've gotten to do about like, I think 6 or 7 AEW matches now. And that was really cool. Like, because with all my stuff with WWE, I've only ever been like I said, like in the back. Like, I've been in like, like bar scenes. I've been a paramedic twice. I've like been at the party. I've been in No Way Jose conga lines, things like that. So I never actually got to wrestle like one of their girls on TV. You got to do tryout matches in the ring before SmackDown, but you never got to actually wrestle on TV, like against their girls. So here I actually got to, and it was really cool. And especially like the one time I was once again in my hometown, and that was the first time my mom and my dad came and saw me like at a huge event like that. They've never ever been to, they both had never been to one ever in general. And like my trainer, like I said, trained Moxley, and Moxley actually got my parents and my brother tickets so that they could come see me. So they were second row for that. And like I said, when they announced me, the crowd went freaking insane again, like chanting, like Taz even makes a big deal about it on commentary, which was really cool. And so like, it's like, okay, my mom and dad are seeing this. I'm like, sure, I'm about to get killed by Jade. I'm about to die by Jade. But my mom and dad are actually like second row. They're like, okay, maybe what she's doing isn't stupid. Like, she's not doing this all for nothing.
And obviously, I've primarily seen a lot of your work from OVW and stuff like that. Now, there's some incredible female talent there. Talk about
that. Yeah, it was cool. The character they gave me, a lot of people don't actually realize it was me, which is kind of funny. Like I was that demon chick for the Fallen for over a year, like eyes all black, freaking a demon that spit mist. A lot of people don't even realize that was me. I've actually been at OVW I was at OVW for like 4 or 5 years at that point, and they never really did anything for me, like with me, I mean, and which I was like, it's whatever. And then finally I got that opportunity and I freaking just ran with it. And the other guys that were in the Fallen, like were great. Like I love Ronnie and freaking, I think it goes as Super Z now. Like they were like, literally, they were great. And it was fun to be able to do that with like my friends. And then with like, I love me and they kept on putting me and Haley J in a storyline because me and Haley, we could wrestle each other. I'm real good friends with her mom, Maria James. I was actually in a faction with Maria on the indies for a while. So now it's like, okay, now I'm going with your daughter, which was kind of cool. Like, but literally it was like wrestling her mom, and I could wrestle her mom, like, blindfolded, like freaking ears, like earmuffs in, whatever. So it was really kind of like doing that. And so to be able to do like, and they kept, like I said, Alice kept putting me and her together because we just gelled so well. So that was, I really enjoyed that. I love working Haley. It's a good time. She calls me auntie and I call her my niece. So
I'm just looking on Cage Match and I've lost count how many times you guys have actually faced each other.
I know. And they kept making us kiss on the freaking show. He's like, Al Snow will be like, great, you guys are going to do this, and then we're going to make you kiss. And we looked at each other like,
what?
Okay. So now it's a thing that whenever me and Haley freaking like are in a match together, we're like, oh, we'll do this spot. And then what, you want to kiss or something? Like it's a running joke now.
Dear. So when you look back and stuff like that, like you said, you come up 11 years and stuff like that. What's some of your personal highlights you're proud of?
I mean, definitely like my WWE stuff, my AEW stuff. Actually, any like TNA, all those are personal like achievements. Like so all that. One thing I'm proud of, I used to run a kids class, and one of my girls from my kids class is actually now out there doing the indies. Like so, she went from, I started training her at like she was like 9 years old. And now she's out there doing it, and she's kicking ass, and like it's great, and it's really cool to see. I've actually gotten to wrestle her on shows, so it's like almost like a full turnaround moment. Obviously, like when I went to train with Dustin's is there too, like, and being their only 2-time and their longest reigning RWA Academy champion is still a accomplishment for me. All my UK trips, even before my fiance, like I went to the UK prior to COVID and things like that. So those were always, anytime I can wrestle somewhere new or in a different country, it's like a big deal to me. So let's see. And then I think that sums it up. I'm probably missing quite a bunch, but
you've got a couple of questions here. So Wrestle Wellbeing obviously is a good friend of mine. It says, how do you prepare for a big match physically and mentally?
I don't mentally. I'm just like, I just panic until the bell rings. Like genuinely, I just panic. Like if it's like, because I just wrestled Nixon Newell last weekend, so formerly Tegan Knox, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had like quite a few bumps to the head, you know, like things. And my memory is not the best anymore. And I will be the first one to admit that. And when, you know, we plan a match, I'm like, oh crap, like, you know, like there's a lot of stuff to remember here. So, and I want her to look good. I want all her stuff to, you know, look great and to get over. And so I more panic with the fact of like, I don't care if my stuff looks like crap. I want to make the other person's stuff look good. That's my issue. And then physically, I don't feel like there is anything that you can actually physically, like you cannot prepare yourself physically for a match, like unless like you go and train in a ring, like, you know, no amount of gym time, cardio, like jogs or anything you do is ever going, it's not the same as, you know, getting in there and running the ropes or taking bumps. So just, you know, as long as you stay in good shape, like, you know, and continue doing it without like being out for a while, you're pretty good.
That kind of leads me on to my next question. Have you had many injuries?
Yes, many, very.
Do you want to elaborate how many and how long you've been out for?
I kind of lost count. I've cracked my sternum. I have torn my labrum, cracked ribs, broken my bones. I actually continued wrestling on a broken neck without realizing it. I mean, I knew something was wrong with my neck. But whenever like you're a wrestler, you kind of just always have these pains everywhere. And like I distinctly remember this time where I'm like, I can't move my neck. It hurts so bad. But like my trainer and like, oh, it's probably just another, you nicked it, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So I kept wrestling on it. And then when I was doing a TV taping, I got knocked out in the middle of the ring and they had to life squad me to the hospital. And when I was there, they did a CT scan of like my head and my neck and all that stuff. And they're like, you realize you have a healed fracture in your neck? And I was like, okay. So I apparently kept wrestling on a broken freaking neck. So get at me, Kurt Angle. But, you know, like, yeah, those, like I said, concussions, cracked sternum, ribs, nose, black eye, toes, foot. I've like broken all that. So yeah, I've had plenty.
You've practically broken nearly every bone.
Right, pretty much. Like you point somewhere and I'll be like, yep, I did that.
What was the longest time you've been out of the wrestling ring with an injury?
I want to say 4 months. Yeah, probably 4.
Okay, it's not too bad, stuff like that. So the next question I ask a lot of wrestlers and stuff like that, how would you describe the fan base when it comes to wrestling fans?
Everywhere's different. Everywhere's different. Like there are places that like you, no matter what you go out there, heel or baby, you can try anything and everything. And that crowd is just going to sit there and stare at you. You know, like it doesn't matter. There are the crowds that you go out there and they are so into it. The second you come through that curtain, they're just happy to be there, you know? And then you have these crowds that are way into it and like start taking things personal. And like for instance, I've literally had a crowd hate me so much they waited for me after the show, waited for me in the parking lot for me to come out, and so that they could literally just like rally about like I don't know what they were gonna do, but they had to go out there and tell them that I left because there was a crowd, there was like an angry mob, and I'm like, get over it. And then, you know, I've had a crowd like where like actually this just happened recently, like that made a comment about my dad passing away and saying it was, you know, good that he died. And I'm like there are some stuff saying like that some fans go way too far, you know. It's so you have amazing, cool and into it fans, and then you have ones that they're like, yeah, you just like, there are just some things you don't do, and they think because they paid a ticket they're allowed to do it, and it's not always the case.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that pisses me off is the social media side of things now, is, you know what I mean? I mean, you see comments of like on people's appearances and stuff like that. That winds me up. What's your opinion when it comes to social media and wrestling?
It's good and bad. Like, for instance, even last night, I was having so many people message me that a page is there's a page that started that was intimidating me, like imitating me, pretending to be me. And like, so I'm just telling everybody, like, report it so it gets taken down if they get anything from it. But I mean, good wise, as in like promotional will be good, and like easier to get in contact with promoters and things like that. But it can definitely it can be used for not good either, like there are just some things that should be kept privately and business-like, and like there are some people that will like air things or do just bad stuff that shouldn't be aired, and it doesn't matter to them. So yeah, it's good and bad.
This is an interesting question. Drew Ashlyn Wah says Shawna is an icon.
Oh, not like her. She's a queen. Like she is like genuinely a queen, like beautiful, everything. I adore her. We haven't even really said 2 words to each other, but like, I mean, she's an icon. She's a freaking queen.
And she's been on the show twice, and she's one of the most nicest people I could ever ask for. Do you know what I mean? She's incredible, straight down to earth and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of like second what you just said there.
Yes.
Let's obviously knock the fan questions out. So I did post this. I don't know if have you seen these?
I did look a few on Instagram. So when we were having our issues, I was like, okay, I'm gonna find this while we're looking.
Right, so we've got 5 questions and stuff like that. So first one is pretty straightforward. It's from Abby Favell. It says, "I love you, Shawna."
I've actually wrestled Abby, so yeah, I trained Abby and wrestled her, so I love her too.
There you go, Abby. So Tyler _McIntyre 82 says, "Favorite finisher and why growing up?"
I mean, it's pretty much the one I use now, and like it's the RKO, and like it's because it's freaking Randy Orton, and like yeah, like what is there not to love about Randy Orton? So
yeah, he's absolute legend and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I love Randy Orton. Do you know what I mean? I could have a full hour debate just about his career in general.
Yeah, 100% love him. Love everything about it.
So next question is from Banner 2002. Says, "How much work and preparation does you usually need for a typical match?"
I'd say honestly, none, because you go in there and sometimes you're meeting your opponent for the very first time, and you're just like, you just got to go in there and be like, what do you know how to do? Here's some things to do, and you guys make a match and go out there and hope for the best. Like you don't know this person, but you're hoping that they're trained good enough to, because you're trusting this person with your life for 8, 10, 15 minutes. And so yeah, you pretty much, that's how as much time as you have to prepare. I mean, if you both get there early, and if the ring's set up and you guys can like roll around a little bit and get the feel of each other, great. But that 9 times out of 10 doesn't happen. So you go in there with a trust, hoping and praying.
Timmy Turner 08. It kind of falls on for this next question. It says, "Do you call your matches in the ring?"
Yes and no, depending on the person I'm working.
There you go, straight to the point. And the last one, I love this name, by the way, Rusty Little Shit. It says, "What is your favorite match so far?"
That is a great name. Actually, I have 2 that I really like enjoy, and they're more recent. Like I actually had, like they're actually both from over there. Actually, I just had a match with Moxie Malone at W3L, and that was super fun. That's actually the most fun I've had in a while. And then I had one a few years ago with Cerebral Steve and UK Wrestling, and that one was fire. Everything went great. So those are probably my 2 favorite matches I've had.
There you go. Druza says, "When will you be back in the UK?"
I'm hoping to come back. My birthday weekend's November, so I've saved that whole week. So I'm coming whether my boss likes it or not.
I hope your boss is not watching this.
If she does, you guys need me too much, so you can't fire me.
I don't even know where to go from that question. Well, Shawna, you've done it. You've brought me there.
I've got a week vacation and I can use it.
Yeah, boss, do it. I don't even know what to say. Right. Come on, Liam.
Broke ya.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
On that note, the podcast concludes. Thank you.
I will be honest, that's the second time I've been broken, so well done on that. Right, come on. Right, yeah. So, with everything obviously you do, obviously like you work, your wrestling, stuff like that, do you still get a chance to watch wrestling from like a fan's point of view?
It's hard for me to watch wrestling as a fan's point of view, even if I had time, like just because I know stuff. I've actually been to WWE and done stuff too, so I know like a few of them I'm friends with, so it's like, like it's different. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I've actually watched wrestling was last Friday, and cried like a baby, like, because that's what I was like. The whole AJ Lee returning, that is my hero. That's the reason I got into wrestling. She is my world, my everything. And I never have gotten to meet her or see her live. Because by the time I was out of my parents' house, who didn't allow me to go to live wrestling events, she was gone. And so I never got to anything. So it's like, yeah, she's back. So that's the first time I've actually watched live. I keep up with the Cliff Notes on Instagram and like the videos and stuff like that. But that's actually the first segment I've watched in quite some time.
It's crazy though, because what's Raw 3 hours? You've got NXT, which is 2 hours. You've got AEW, which is another 2 hours. TNA, which is 2 hours. It all adds up. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's not enough time.
Yeah, there's generally not. Yep.
Crazy, man. Absolute crazy. I tried it once to try and catch up on it all, and I'm like, yeah, I cannot do this because I've got work as well. Do you know what I mean? You've got like life.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and like there's just some things that I'm not into, like there are some people like that I'm like, if like characters that like have not caught my attention. Like I'll watch like these characters that I'm like, okay, cool, like I love your wrestling style. If I see a video of you, I'll stop and watch it. But like I'm not gonna sit through 2 to 3 hours of a show for your segment and just be like, okay, I'm bored. So
right to the point. I love it and stuff like that. Do you ever watch your matches back and like critique them?
Oh yeah. I 100% do. I even cringily, like, I actually avoid now my matches from my earlier days. Like, I'm like, I can't watch my stuff from like 6-7 years ago because I'm like, no. Why'd you think that was cool? Or why did or I'll see like my old outfits and I'm like, why did you go out there doing that? But recently, I'll watch my stuff from more recently. And like, or just, to relive kind of moments or like you said, to pretty much critique myself and be like, okay, I need to do this, make this move look better this way. So, yeah.
Interesting. Obviously, like I said, you've been wrestling for 10, coming up 11 years and stuff like that. You get wrestlers coming up to you, asking you for advice and stuff like that?
Sometimes, depending. 100%. It depends on where I'm at. Like, if they kind of know of me, they will, like some will. If they don't, then no.
No, straight to now. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, no.
And stuff like that. What would you say the most rewarding thing is about wrestling for you?
It is pretty much being able to escape everyday life. Like the escaping, like, oh, I have this bill coming up I'm stressed about. It's I've had drama, family drama, I've had work drama. It's like if I can go in there and like for 8 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, be this larger than life character and like have no worries in the world, just out here to beat up this other chick, I'm going to do it, And then like, obviously like looking in the crowd, even if I am a bad guy, seeing a little girl up there, like, like it does mean a lot to me, like being like kind of a role model for little kids. Like, even if I am the bad guy and they're booing the crap out of me or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, it means a lot. So
there you go. I've got to ask, face or heel?
I'm booked more as a heel. So, but I do enjoy being the face because, like I said, I do enjoy those little girls come up like, oh, yeah, I want to be just like you or whatever, you know, like that means a lot. But a lot more people book me as a heel everywhere I go. And I'm like, okay, well, don't have many of those opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at obviously your character and stuff like that, I get the thing you can do both and stuff like that, which not many wrestlers I can think of do. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's really good. Obviously, that's credit more, you know, to you, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So we talked about obviously before you go out and perform and stuff like that. How do you get yourself into the zone?
I pace a lot. Yeah, I'm a pacer, so I very much just pace back and forth of trying to go over everything so I don't forget one thing. And yeah, so that's pretty much, and I feel like I'm so used to it now that it's like, okay, this is the job, this is what I gotta do. But I find myself, obviously prior to my match, I've probably like paced enough to freaking make a tunnel, you know? So if that counts.
Well, this is going to be interesting for this one. I'm going to turn that question 180. How do you wind down after a match?
I literally, at the second that I'm out of that ring, within like not even 25 seconds, I'm already changed out of my gear and I'm like, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And I'm in my car. Like, I'm just like instantly like calming down after a match. Like, I'm like, it happens. I actually live off that adrenaline because I usually I try to make it back home no matter where I am. Like, I could be 5 hours away, I could be 6 hours away, I could be 2 hours away. It doesn't matter. I'm like, I'm out of the ring. I'm going to use this adrenaline. Like, I'm awake right now and I'm going to see how far I can get on my drive. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to make it as far as I can. So I guess long drives back is how I decompress.
I can just imagine just you there driving like going, yes, I'm going home. I don't care what's going on.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, I am dying. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to make it.
Oh, dear. I bet when you just get through that door, you just go, right, I'm going to bed. Night.
Oh, when I get home, my dogs are like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. I'm excited. Let's play. No, there's bed. That is time.
Dear. I want to go back to the fan base a little bit and stuff like that. What's one thing that wrestling fans will never understand when it comes to wrestling?
The actual like work, I think actually like the feeling and the work that goes into it. There are so many people that are like, oh, it's fake, and oh, like, you know, it's yeah, pretty much it's fake and it's not this huge thing that you do, and they don't really realize until they go in there and even just take one bump actually how painful it is and what we're doing to our bodies. Because it actually, like, I remember when I first started training, I couldn't move for days. Like, I actually had to have someone at the time help me get up out of my bed to go to the bathroom. Like, I literally could not move. They've said every bump is like a car accident at 35 miles per hour, you know, and you take multiple bumps in every single match. So like, it's not like padded or, yeah, there's a pad that's like this thick, but it's all steel and hard wood. And yeah, do I 9 times out of 10 know what's going to be coming, what I'm taking, who's winning? Usually, but it's taking those moves, it's doing all that stuff. So I don't think they actually understand the amount of pain we all go through physically and mentally. So, and that we're actual people like this, like, you know, like this is like, we're actual human beings. Like, we are not these, like, we'll be this character while we're here. And then we go home to our families at night and, you know, try to pay bills, try to pay the rent, try to survive like all of them do. And I think that a lot of them think that wrestling is a very glamorous lifestyle. So it's also like, yeah, if you're in WWE and all that, you have it glamorously, except for, you know, you're on the road 363 days a year. But wrestling on the indies is not glamorous at all. I know people that have lived in their cars and, that, this, whatever show they're doing. I've personally been in this, like whatever show that I'm doing that weekend, I really needed to go on because I won't be able to pay like my utility bill if I don't have this show going, and the pay is not fantastic. It's not enough to just live by. So I think there are quite a lot of things that fans don't actually realize that go into doing this.
And it's funny you say that, like you're juggling things and like that, because I spoke to obviously many wrestlers throughout the indie scene, and they've all said the same things, juggling like family life, personal life, work life, all these things and stuff like that. So the fact that you've obviously said that, it just goes to show, the whole thing as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we don't I'm 30, I'm 31 years old. I'm engaged, but I'm not married. I have no kids. And it's always been my dream to be I've always wanted to be that mom. I've always wanted to settle down. I've always wanted all that. And I've put all that on pause because I had this wrestling dream. I've missed funerals. I've missed birthday parties. I've missed when people call, unfortunately, when you get the call, that a family member is dying and, you get the call to come in and say your goodbyes. I've missed being able to say goodbye because I'm not I'm somewhere else and I didn't make it there to say goodbye, and I've done so much to my body, injury wise, I've bumped so much that's actually moved my, my right ovary over a little bit. And it's going to be hard for me to get pregnant. People don't realize actually how much we do to ourselves. Literally on an ultrasound, they, no one TMI, but they can't find my right uterus. Not my right uterus, my right ovary, but they have to do other things to be able to find it. And they said it's from a bunch of impact. And I'm like, so we really do things that affect us and our families. So I used to be stupid close with my family. I mean, I'm still close with my mom and all that, but I used to be close with my aunts. I used to be close with my uncles, used to be close with my cousins. Now I'm not. I'm not invited to a lot of family things. They just don't invite me because they don't figure I'm in town or around anymore. And it's all right. So we give up a lot in more than one way to do this. So
yeah, thank you obviously for that. That was quite open and honest, really appreciate that and stuff. So like I said, a few more questions obviously begin to wind down and stuff like that. Now, here we are. I mean, what's the biggest piece of advice you got given?
Actually, it's actually from Triple H. I'm not, no joke. I was at a WWE and I asked him when I was trying to get abs and stuff. And I was like, how the heck do I get them? And he told me abs are made in the kitchen. And so I was I was working out, trying, doing all the ab machines, doing all this stuff. And I wasn't doing it. And he's told me abs are made in the kitchen. And that, boing. And I literally ended up losing 60 pounds after that, it was, I figured out how to do it. So yeah, that pretty much just still resonated in my head. This is 9 years later. So.
Wow. Okay. If you could change one thing in wrestling, what would it be?
The attitudes. The attitudes, or also the getting places because you're good and not because of a family name or because of who you're with, or a lot of places only there are a lot of times people are only booked because of who their family is or who they're or getting opportunities because of their significant other or family, like I said, family names and stuff. I very much would it's just look and see if this person is freaking good, watch and see if they've trained, see what they're doing, see their character, kind of go from that instead of being oh, this person doesn't have this specific last name, or this person this person is so-and-so's girlfriend who has been in the business less than a year, hasn't even trained, or go for this person that's like an 8-year vet and has done all this and has all this experience. I'm going to go with this person because it's this person's girlfriend, like actually that kind of stuff, actually getting trained and stuff. So.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that and stuff like that. So there's obviously a lot of people obviously just thinking of getting into wrestling and stuff like that. What's one bit of advice you would give to them?
It is going to be the hardest thing you ever do, mentally and physically. It's going to be the most painful thing you ever do, genuinely. But if you can get over that pain, like if you can get over it, it'll be the craziest and wildest ride of your life. And it'll bring you'll see some amazing, things. You'll get to work with some amazing people. Like I said, you'll visit places you never imagined. Like I got lucky and, like I've met my fiance through this, like we're in 2 different countries. And if, if wrestling wasn't a thing, we would never have met. So it'll bring you to some amazing things, but it'll also be very physically tolling and emotionally tolling. So, you gotta have thick skin. You 100% have to have thick skin, but stick through it, and it will, like I said, it'll be worth it if you do.
There you go. 3 people you'd like to get in the ring with.
AJ Lee, of course.
I knew that would come in. I should have known.
Yeah, that was number 1. Randy Orton. And if we're all talking like bigger names, Rhea Ripley.
I'd like to see that because I think that'd be an interesting match, you and Rhea.
Oh, I think it'd be great. Fantastic.
There you go. WWE, if you're watching, book it.
Yes, please.
Dear. One final question, Shawna, and then we'll obviously wind down. What's the goal, obviously, now for you for the rest of the year?
Just kind of, keep wrestling. Maybe. I purposely have kind of given myself some time at the second half of the last half of this year. I'm still got plenty of bookings, but I've purposely been like, oh no, like to kind of give myself some recuperating time. So like right now it's just continue doing what I'm doing, evolving in this and trying to, get through everything so your girl can finally get married. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my goal, is like that's where all my mind is. I'm like, I'm ready for that. So but wrestling wise, yes, just continue doing what I'm doing and hopefully something picks up.
There you go. Shawna, this has been an absolute pleasure. Obviously, hopefully you've enjoyed yourself today.
Yes, thank you.
So I need a couple of things from you. Number 1, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Sure. Yeah. So, all my social medias, Facebook is Shawna Reed. I think Instagram is Shawna_Reed, and then Twitter is Shawna Reed 93. If you follow me on any of those, I post where I'm at that weekend, like the following weekend, usually that whole week. So you'll see where I'm at because I tend to not really know where I'm at until that week anyway. I don't look. So I'll be posting everything on there. And yeah, I've got a Pro Wrestling Tees page. So you can go on there and get shirts. They'll ship you anywhere, or you can contact me for shirts or 8x10s. I got stickers, so that's fun too. Also, why not? I'm on TikTok because it's fun, whatever. So you can follow me on TikTok. So just, see all my shenanigans. Like, yeah.
Dear. What we'll do is we'll put all links in the description of this video for you so people can jump from all these to go and support you. How's that?
Perfect. I love it.
Absolutely. So I need one final thing from you. Everyone I interview gets to do the outro for this show.
Okay.
They can say anything they want. They can promote anything you want, and I will end the stream. Shawna, over to you.
Oh gosh, that's let's see. Okay. My name's Shawna Reed. Thank you for watching this podcast. Tune in next week and see if anybody else can break this guy because I did.